Good evening, everyone. Welcome to MOCAFest. How are you this evening? My name is Yasmin. I'll be your MC for this evening. I hope you've been around and enjoying all the workshops and performances that have been going on today. They've been brilliant. There's been so much to take in. And there is going to be some spectacular performance tonight. So thank you for coming along. And it's quite cavernous in here, so I'm glad you've all moved forward. There's going to be a real mix of entertainment tonight, everything from vocalists to performance poets to sitar playing to all kinds of things. So I think we're about ready to introduce our first act onto stage. Jamal Ruslan is a poet from Malaysia, and I think anybody who goes into poetry, oh, it's getting smoky in here, who goes into poetry and wins their first ever poetry slam or their first ever performance is going to be good. He writes about the challenges that the country and its people are facing, and I'm really interested to hear his work, so please give, he's the first act on, so give him a really warm welcome, Jamal Ruslan.
Good evening, my name is Jamal Ruslan, thank you for having me here. Happy to kick this off. I'm a poet from KL. What I believe about poetry is that there's poetry that's meant to be read, and there's poetry that's meant to be read. So go figure. And this is my first piece, and this goes to all the women in this hall. And this is also a tribute to Amir Sulaiman. This piece is called She Said I Can Live with a Broken Heart. And she said, I can live with a broken heart. Let me live with a broken heart, because I have been living with a broken heart. And I didn't know what to say. Should I just keep quiet, or should I say, let me take you for dinner and make your day? Or it could be Allah working in His mysterious ways, or just be patient, give her time. She wouldn't understand it now yet anyway, or just let it be, it'll be fine. But try as I may, no matter what I wanted to say, it all sounded so cliché. And that made me hate myself. At that exact moment, I hated the very existence that divinity has graced and blessed upon my soul, because I did not know what to say. I wish I could have said something, but there was no way my young eyes and my young heart would have said something enlightening, something right, beautiful, and comforting, because there's no way I could have seen more pain, more love, joy, and blood-soaked rain than her wedding necklace, grandmother's ring, and coarse hands of gain. I call myself a man, unashamedly. In front of this woman who has fathered children, me, someone who has fathered only his manhood, unashamedly calls himself a man. And in the heat of the moment, where this beautiful woman has dropped her guard and offered me a glimpse into her heart, yet vulnerable and fragile soul, and opened the windows to her past of decades old, sharing her innermost feelings and moves her through the days like tectonic plates, I celebrate the opportunity and grabbed it home with my manly arms, and like I found gold in celebration of the moment where I bring out the depth of manliness and masculinity and paternal potentiality in all its promise and glory, confident like how a man should, thinking of the things he should know, remember, understand, say, like how all those movies and books about men try to sell every day, and I unashamedly said, okay. A most manful and masculine, okay. When instead, I could have said something else. Something that would take away the pain of having a heart broken, because women are creatures who were born to love. And before they learn how to love themselves, they learn how to love others first. And before we men learn how to love women and how to make love and make women love ourselves and themselves, they taught us love. And the reason why it is them and not us is because they understand that the purpose of their beautiful existence is the most exalted cause, which is the gift of bringing life to this world. And even though this beauty is marked by scars, and no matter how much these scars haunt them, hurt them, scare them, devastate and disappoint them, they will not falter. Because even the heavens surrender, bowing to pay heed and lie beneath their feet, because they are women. And in the millisecond that all this flashed by, I cry joy and victory, in revelation and mockery, retaliating to the man that I was just moments before. And in my newfound manliness, I wore please, please don't say that. Isn't that a wish? A prayer that should not be? Because Allah forbade us to wish for something that He dislikes. For He only likes peace, understanding, love, and harmony. And she said, I can live with a broken heart. Let me live with a broken heart, because I have been living with a broken heart. When I broke a piece of it in 72 for the man that I loved, and then another one in 73 to make up your sister's heart, and then in 76 for your brother's warmth, and then in 81 for your words and your charm, and then again in 85 for your sister's laugh, so I can live with a broken heart, because I have been living with a broken heart. And I beg you, please, please let me live with a broken heart. Just let this be. Just let me be, because I know exactly where the pieces are. And for my next piece is a piece that I wrote for a soft launch of a digital agency. Now, before I start this piece, just for context, how many of you have seen Avatar? Pretty much everybody, right? So do you remember how the Na'vi greeted each other? Do you remember? I see you, right? Oh, ang ngati ka maiye. I see you. So, hope you guys like this. You guys have been a very great crowd. This is Human Lens. We live in an age where a screen is more sensitive than our skin. Sorry, come again. We live in an age where a screen is more sensitive to touch than our skin, and we are more sensitive to sensitivities than holding our own kin. People touching screens to connect globally with another, but still think twice before holding hands with a different color. The days of shaking hands and touching cheeks have been replaced by accepting friends to update the family tree. The friendly nudge is now the FB poke, and the status like is the last time you actually spoke. A person's worth used to be what he does and what he knows. Now it depends on the company he keeps and who he knows. We're told we couldn't share by a P2P because it makes the industry worse. When intellectual property is just basically who declares it first. And how people marvel at the creativity of Stan Lee when the one who captured our imaginations on paper was the late Jack Kirby. Globalization is just another word to expand one's connections, because the real commodity now is first-hand information. But what if I put my hand out first? Before sharing information, without sharing information, would you reach out to me? Oh, ang ngati ka maiye. Do you see me? We live in a world where beauty is just skin deep, and we test it on animals first because it's safe to us and it's cheap. We let our eyes judge based on what it sees because we use logos to tell us how to look and how to speak. From the papyrus to the printing press, from rock art paintings to la presse, they add 3 more pieces to the force that you could earn more and still spend less. And now they use the 4 C's to foresee what we would like to wear across the 4 seasons. 4 reasons: consumer, cost, convenience, communication. From the skin you love to touch to love the skin you're in. But what if I get under your skin? Would you feel me? Who would I see? Oh, ang ngati ka maiye. Do you see me? You see, there is a difference between value and values. And when you value your values like your valuables value, then your valuable values is worth nothing of value. No matter how good you look in the first tenth of a second, the words you say make the lasting impression, because sound travels slower than light, and that's why some appear bright until you hear them speak. Beauty goes deep, deeper than skin. That's why we are what we eat. Change the surface and we will look different, but change what we consume and we will become different. Don't be ripples on the water that are quickly forgotten, or the splash that is created in an inspired moment. Be the color that changes the ocean, and you will see. And you will see me. Blame me for wearing rose-tinted glasses with human lenses, but my eyes don't like the reality, so I'm using my human senses. So what? If I think with my heart, listen with my eyes, speak with my mind, see with my eyes, I will get you. And if I don't get you, I will touch you, so that I can suck those words right out of your heart straight onto my skin and feel it with my ears, because I see you. I see see you. So embrace your naked skin and strip these present tenses. You will never make contact if you don't use our common senses. And if you still don't see me with all your human lenses, then it's time and if you still don't see me with all your human senses, then it's time you change your contacts and wear some human lenses. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you to Jamal, and welcome to those of you who've joined us in the last few minutes. We've still got tons of performances to go, so please make yourselves comfortable. Now, I was fortunate enough to see Joel, our next performer, perform earlier on. Joel Sadar is Australian, and I was going to make him go last, but we're not. We've let him go second. He studied Persian music, right, Joel? For many years. And he's played extensively with Persian ensembles all over the world. Now his focus is, he says, is on improvisation and meditation within Persian music. So I'm going to let the music do the talking. Please welcome Joel Sadar. How are we doing? Are we enjoying ourselves so far? I can just see you through the atmospheric smoke. You all look very smiley, so that's a good thing. Okay, I'm really excited about this next act. I've heard so much about them, but I, until today, haven't had the privilege to hear them live, so I'm very excited because any group that can be, and I'm sorry, you must be sick of hearing it, but described as the Sufi version of Mumford & Sons gets my vote. So Silk Road are apparently the Sufi version of Mumford & Sons. Their music is a combination of soaring, absolutely beautiful lyrics and pumping classical Indian beats, led by singer-songwriter and classically trained guitarist Faraz Yousafzai. So here we go, please give them a big hand. This is Silk Road.
like to give a quick introduction of who we are. With Zio on tabla, myself on bass, Atala Fitzgibbon on guitar, and Karate on guitar and also both vocals. So we're glad to be here tonight. We greet you all, greetings and peace, and we enjoy this experience with you, and we look forward to the rest of the evening with all these great artists and fine gentlemen coming before us. Thank you.
How are you all? Alright, this next song is Promise. Change the plan. Something softer first. We'll finish like this. This is called Ask My Heart. Ask my heart, is my Lord near? Its reply, no doubt, is Him's always here. Ask my heart, what can't see through? Till I'm shining every bit of you. Thing for me, hidden lights that my eyes just can't see. Illusion is what we call the cover. Look past into yourself, you will discover. Yeah. our final song is a quick, short, little one. I promise. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Again to Silk Road. I do think Mumford & Sons have got something to worry about there. Now, this next artist, Rakesh Jamil, is a fellow countryman of mine. He's from Pakistan. He started learning sitar at the age of 12, and he completed his undergrad studies in musicology, and indeed he's now actually a lecturer at the musicology department at the University of Punjab in Lahore. Now, he's performed all over the world, including here in London at the Shakespeare's Globe Fest. The composition that he's playing for you this evening is called Tarana, and it was composed by the late Ustad Akbar Ali Khan. He's going to be accompanied this evening by Zishan Bagwadi on harmonium. So please welcome Rakeh Jamil. Now this young lady I've had the privilege of seeing before, so take it from me, she's very good. Her name is Sakina Pilgrim, and she's a poet and a rapper from the group Poetic Pilgrimage, who some of you may have seen before. Her style is inspired by Sufi poetry and Rumi and Hafiz, and she's also a project manager of a community arts organisation called Rumi's Cave here in London. So please give it up for Sakina Pilgrim.
My being yearns for the desert, for the stillness, the emptiness, the silence, drowning me out of my mind, drowning inside, softly, slowly, know me, face to face with my naked nothingness. In the name of his oneness, I bear witness that we are less than dust that dances with wind. No us, just him. No us, just him. No us, just him. Lead me to a desert plain where nobody knows my name and nobody cares. Busying their own hearts with the sacred art of calling the name from which all life came. Maybe I'll join this desert choir, attire nomadic, wrapped in 6 yards of fabric. Protection from the sun's face and protection, lest I forget that someday, when my soul meets with eternity, I'll be shrouded this way. Find me in some corner, weeping like a mourner lamenting her lover, emptying my soul into the sand, emptying my heart into his hand until there are no bullets left in my chamber, until I have no choice but to surrender. Do with me what you will, Ya Rahman. I'm imagining a Maghrib sky, where the heavens have rose-tinted cheeks like a virgin bride, the scent of prayer perfuming the night, and when darkness arrives, we'll be cocooned in remembrance, and God's names will burst forth like butterflies to beautify the horizon. I'm daydreaming of the desert story, because London's lights are blinding me, and I'm listening out for God's voice, but the city screams so loudly, I can't hear myself breathe. I need some time away from a place where concrete competes with my Lord's artistry. Every part of me is yearning for the landscape that prophets would navigate, cloaked only in God's grace, enchanted only by God's face. Oh my days, what I would do for a taste of how it feels to be erased, to be able to say, Sakina doesn't live here anymore. All that's left is God's names. My name is Sakina Pilgrim. I'm accompanied by the amazing Mem. This is our first time performing together, so alhamdulillah, I'm really honored to be sharing it with you guys. My name is Sakina Pilgrim because I feel that each of my poems are a journey. Inshallah, they're all my journey. The journey is really to somewhere that I would regard as a sacred space. So I ask, inshallah, that you just come on a journey with me, inshallah, and if you gain any benefit, then ask Allah to be pleased with us, inshallah. The next piece we're going to do is called Love and Longing. May I use this moment to speak from a heart that's still beating but broken. Unsure if this is prayer or poem, but I'll keep going. Wounds that can never be healed are now showing. And in my eyes there's a pain that can't be disguised, but I keep going knowing that even if I never taste the object of my longing, the fact that I know his name in the first place means I'm already gazing in his gaze. You see, my heart's inclining, feels like it's climbing out of my torso, into that portal between God and mortal, so I may know what Adam's fall was for. Not sure when it became normal for me to stand at bus stops, waiting for the veil to drop, aching for this illusion to rot. Not sure when it became normal for me to desperately yearn for him to turn to me, well pleased for the rest of eternity. This distance is burning me. Understand when I speak, it's not secrets I seek, not miracles or mysteries. I just want my existence to be in line with a time before history, a time before time even, before the first moment passed, when we grasped with our entire being what we were seeing, witnessing him with our everything, our purpose, a hymn, praising him, praising him, praising him. I'm craving him like a fiend of the sweetest decree. No other love can satisfy me. Knowledge of God's perfection restored in me, oh sweet memory, don't fail me now. I know he is near, but don't know how to tell him I love him. Can't stop thinking of him, won't stop drinking from him. And so I trod these city streets calling his name, riding pretty trains seeking his face, even in the darkest of places where the people seem the farthest away, praying for his grace to descend like summer rain or even a hurricane. I don't mind, I just want to feel his nearness pelting against my window pane. What do I do with a heart that's covered in flames, Ya Allah? You know why I came, and why I remain chained to those who call to your way. The seasons are starting to change, I can feel it in the air. London's winter is drawing near, where smiles between strangers are rare. But I'm still singing the song of the lovers, as if it was summer, nights by the river, and I strive to remember that God is the giver, and I ask that he give me him. Yes, I strive to remember until I forget everything apart from him, waiting my turn, expecting nothing in return. And so I yearn, with my nights spent in orchards of the stars, meadows of the moon, craving loneliness and solitude, as though it were my only food, waiting for him to whisper my name. And until that day, I pray to never, ever, 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 ever leave this place. Please give a round of applause to them. Thank you so much. My name is Sakina Pilgrim. This is them. Thank you very much.
Just a reminder that the showcase tomorrow, tonight you're seeing all of these guys perform individually, but tomorrow night the showcase will be a fusion showcase where they're all collaborating together, so please don't forget to come to that at the same time tomorrow evening in this hall. Now, our next artist, Abdul Qadir Sardoun, has technically had the shortest journey here today because he might be from Algeria, but he decided to move to Greenwich. So he's had a very short journey tonight. Now, do we all know what a slashy is? Yeah? Me, for example, I am a writer slash broadcaster slash whatever. We have a slashy in our midst. Abdul Qadir is a singer slash songwriter slash drummer slash educator slash highly talented person. He's going to perform for you this evening, and he's accompanied on flamenco guitar by Andreas Garcia. So please welcome Abdul Qadir Sardoun.
Thank you. So nice. We're going to play an original composition from my latest album called Homage, and this is called Jazairiya. This quick song is for the Kabil, which is dedicated to some very, very famous artist who passed away in Algeria. So Kabil basically is a special rhythm from Algeria. And I combined two melodies, very, very popular melodies out of it.
was a little bit lame. I said, are you all having a good time? Thank you, thank you. Now, it's not often that you can say this about a South Asian artist, but our next artist, Zishan Bhagwati, is a critically acclaimed opera singer. See, that's something you're all going to go home. You won't believe it, there was an opera singer there, isn't it? It's quite unusual. He's a native of Chicago. He's performed in New York as well as his hometown. He's toured India and Italy. He told me to say all of this. I'm picking him up here. He was the lead singer of an indie rock band called Zameen, based in Chicago. He's now gone solo. As well as playing all over the world, he's trilingual. He really is showing off now, isn't he? He's quite talented. And he's here, and he's going to play for us tonight, accompanied by Rav and Rakesh. He writes and performs his own music. Please welcome Zishan Bhagwati.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That song's called Sham, which is off the album, the first album I ever did, the song. Rob wants me to tell you how complicated it is. I'd rather tell you how complicated Rob is. He's a pretty complicated guy. Any girl that's been in a relationship with him on Facebook has always said he's pretty complicated. Anyway, before we go on to the next song, by the way, how you doing? Good, hey, good, yeah, we'll get your energy up, it's okay, I'm not gonna force it out of you. Before we go on, I want to talk a little about the fellas making the great sound behind me. It's been a pleasure to meet these guys and be part of MOCAFest and collaborate. Obviously, we haven't had as much time to, as we would like as musicians to, get really into the things. But it's just great that, like, with the limited time we have, how well things have come together. I want to, and to my left over here from Lahore, Pakistan, Raki Jamil, very handsome fellow, sitar. And to my left is the de facto mayor of Kuala Lumpur, Ravinderjeet Singh Sikabaji. Anyway, this next song we're going to do is called The Wait. It's written in Urdu, and the song is about embracing one's destiny.
Good evening again, and thanks to Seshin Pakwadi and Rav Mataraki. Now, we're all about bringing people together, and I just wanted to point out there that on stage we had an Indian American, a Pakistani, and a Malaysian, so we really are doing the fusion here. And just again, a reminder that tomorrow night, all the artists that you're seeing tonight will be collaborating together, so there really will be fusion performances going on here tomorrow from 7 until 10 p.m. in the evening. Now, our next artist, Kilema, is a vocalist, composer, and a multi-instrumentalist from Madagascar. in olives in Spain and tours regularly, spreading what is described in his band description as good vibes and love. So I hope he can spread that tonight here in the room. So please welcome Kilema.
It's a great pleasure for me to be here with you. Thank you so much. Now I just want you to say something. Can you say one word in my language? Auva. Auva. Auva nareu. Thank you. So it goes like this. Auva. Auva nareu. Auva nareu. I want you all give a big clap to MOCAFest. But I want to do that in our way, Malagasy way. So I want just to show you how to clap hands in Madagascar. So follow me. When I say Lamaku, 4 claps all together for MOCAFest. Lamaku, 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 Lamaku. This is Lamaku. Averego, 10 claps. Tak, 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 tak. Averego. Averego. Lamaku, Lamaku. Averego. The last one is Atambaru, only one. Atambaru, Atambaru. Okay, all together, Lamaku 4, Averego 10, Atambaru 1. Let's go. Lamaku, 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 Lamaku. Averego. Averego. Atambaru, Atambaru.
So good evening again. Welcome back to MOCAFest. As if we haven't had enough variety tonight, there is more now. We're going to see 2 artists on stage. We have Ravinderjeet Singh, who's already played a couple of times this evening. He's a multidisciplinary, should I say, percussionist based in Kuala Lumpur. He plays with a band called the Diplomats of Drum, which is a cool name if ever there was one. They performed all over the world, and tonight he's going to be playing traditional Malaysian rhythm called Zapin on the drums. He's going to be joined, as you'll see very shortly, by Taslim Jamila, who's a spoken word artist, a poet and MC. She fuses hip-hop, jazz, soul and blues, so I'm sure she's got quite a wide appeal. Now she's shared the stage and worked with artists as diverse as Lupe Fiasco and the Rock Steady crew, who, if I'm right in thinking, I remember from my youth. So please welcome them both, Ravinder and Taslim Jamila. Thank you.
Taking it back in the days with new school flame, 'cause souls got to be saved. I'm taking it back in the days with new school flame, 'cause souls got to be saved. I said souls got to be saved. I said souls got to be saved. I'm mystical, like a Kufi wearing Sufi, like a Buddhist chanting eating sushi, like a gangster gorilla some call Sunni, biblically baptized, quote Quranic wise. You see, I own this. Y'all still paying Chase Bank. Y'all gotta loan this. Holding my skills for your brain straight, trying to comprehend my thrownness. Queen expertise, expounding exponentially grownness. Independent artist, but you still can't clone this. Respect claimed and I demanded it. Original oracle, spiritual flow and flyness, man, I branded it. Handed down and the scripts on ships like Oshun, I commanded it. See, I spot my victims like a Bruce Lee movie scene, but don't scream or stress. My technique will be a painless process. I got express access to what the mild possess, yes. In my battle dress with finesse, mind blessed, no contest. Produce the music that complement my lyrical freedom of press. A poet and MC like Rakim and Ruby and Best. I hope you hear the codes in my rhymes. Real clear, scientifically engineered, I'm so sincere. See, I be near to the celestial sphere. Negative energy disappear when I enter without fear. In tune with my God intuition. Like a naturopath physician, I give y'all that organic nutrition. Cause you crave to be saved. And well, I'm so brave, like Harriet Tubman. spiritual slave, all the way from the cradle to the grave, all the way from the cradle to the grave, all the way from the cradle to the grave, to the grave, to the grave. Take me back in the days. I'm taking it back in the days. Souls were getting saved. Souls were getting saved. Souls were getting saved. Thank you, MOCAFest, for having me, first of all. And I'm honored to be here from Chicago. And some may call me a poet, a spoken word artist, but I tell stories. I tell stories of those who may not speak in front of the audience or university classes. Those whose neighborhoods crashes. Those whose souls and egos clashes. Because sometimes through unknown vessels, Allah speaks. Through hard times and hard rhymes, truth leaks. Words creep, warriors sleep. Slowly and intentionally pattern words invoke action and change. Spitting words into rainbows after the rain. Bringing back sanity after insane. Love and truth, so we breathe in ancestral fame. Fighting words of warriors into flames. Getting down the trenches where grass is not greener, but brown from spirits that stained. Replenishing soil, souls in the land. See, some of y'all sat down, no, but we were those who still taking a stand, not faking a hand. We tied our ankles like the Sahabas and well, we never ran, we never ran, we never ran, we never ran, we never ran. See, we were striving to thrive. We had a drive to be alive. See, we were striving to thrive. We had a drive to be alive. See, we were striving to thrive. We had a drive to be alive. And now at 25, a lot of my sisters got fibroids and tumors. My brothers all stressed out from the high noise and rumors. They don't own the stores, they just consumers. Too much high fructose may cause some buffooning. Short-lived, they die sooner. Enough to make you go much noon. Deplete your immune. Out of harmony, out of tune. The darker side of the moon. GMO at the corner store from July all the way back to June. They asking Jesus, please come save us from this doom. And then Muhammad run the corner store, but it's not Elijah with how to eat to live. You complain too much, take the wrong pill. They might even threaten to shoot to kill. Outdated crap that might break your back. They might even sell you some crack, but some of them are ballers. They got 4 homes, 4 cars, and they live in the suburbs with fresh drywalling. Family eating at Whole Foods, standing up straight while some of my people still crawling. Arteries carved, memories carved. We are royalty that has fallen. Brain on freeze, the drain of disease, and some of us still stalling. See, we were striving to thrive. We had a drive to be alive. We were striving to thrive. We had a drive to be alive. We were striving to thrive. We had a drive to be alive. See, we the original alpha myth with healing risk, mixing herbal remedies with the cure for this. This strong never hit or miss. Old, the village was bliss. A lineage of legacies, we so resilient. Brain surface bursting with our brilliance. Overachievers, over-understanding. We were born resilience. Land loaded with golden minerals, with no pesticides or chemicals. Brain rituals for a fruitful feast. Cultivating crops, we know how to make that wealth increase. So no, we will no longer take rotten produce with dirty floors. You came out by digging on board, because we're more. See, that's out the door. It's a new time and a new season. Everything happens for a divine time and a divine reason. It's the quickening of the awakening, the uncaging of the rage, and that's why I stand with a smile on my face, because I know they are playing the pots with the Lord's grace. I carry the spirit of sojourner truth in Margaret Dowdy's breast, and their scars, a warrior without the chains and the bonds. I come from freedom fighters who walk all the way from Mississippi to Canada. Now we've come so far. A people so bold, a people so whole. So we can navigate you through any ghetto or land, from Sudan to France, from Chicago to the slums of Pakistan, because we are survivors with the whips on our back and the blood and blisters on our hand, and we will save our babies any way that we can. I said we will save our babies any way that we can. I said we will save our babies any way that we can. See, not all of us are asleep. Some giants are woke, and we scraping our brothers and sisters out the street as they choke. 'Cause This next and last piece is dedicated to Malcolm X. We all know who Malcolm X is, El Hajj Malik al-Shabazz. And just to show the evolution of a person, that every day there's a chance, no matter where you go, to elevate up, to get close to Allah. And I want you all to say this with me. We're still screaming for freedom, freedom, freedom. Okay, come on. We're still screaming for freedom, freedom, freedom. We're still screaming for freedom, freedom, freedom. We're still screaming for freedom, 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 freedom. Free like with brain staining the chain with pollution and unchained. Allah said, leave self and come to me. Shed self like snake shed skin so you may see. Like you submit to a doctor's treatment, so did he. Piercing lights that still gleam through nighttime screams, but in darkness and trials forms a warrior's dreams into reality with strength and courage that seep through the seams, unlocking and unfolding a reality that still beams, a reality that still beams, a reality that still beams. Never weak, his speech from the ancient antique heat from the soul. So divine, reminded blind minds there's time to behold. See, he was straight on the path, so he never fold. Natural foods got out that swine, so he wouldn't corrode. The cold codes of deception and rejection felt like some of them might just explode, but he was foretold that he'd be restored to unload these warrior oaths. Don't you know he had a spiritual flow and glow that made his voice superb like golden silk herbs on African fields. He healed with his words. From Tennessee to overseas, they still bring back a mess on the streets by the curb. A good message with his voice, so your soul's not disturbed. See, he was real for all time, quite clever, but never observed. And voice so beautiful like a beautiful bird. Malcolm X, one of the greatest histories ever heard. One of the greatest histories ever heard. See, his chest, breath, beat, freedom. Cause he wanted the freedom. Some thought they didn't need him. Some people really didn't see him. La ilaha illallah, never looked back. Shook, cracked, love, black, and shaitan attack. He emptied himself to God, and God resided. Man or woman can't deny it high. He was more than just a guide, and like a new bride with pride, Allah illuminated him worldwide. See, he was martyred in Harlem, raised to rank with much honor, more fonder than the kings and the scholars, causing commotions across oceans. They even thought of exes in Europe and Africa, submitting to Allah's sincere devotion. See now, then they only had a piece of the peace. Had Islam living, it'll never cease. Man's flesh may perish, but the revolution never ceases. Rise up like yeast, it only expands and it increases. See, we feast on the truth. We obese in this beast. The army's only increased with his decease. See, his time was written on this physical plane, but no man can take what Allah has ordained. I said his time was written on this physical plane, but no man can take what Allah has ordained. I heard freedom in his soul, so I chased it. I heard freedom in his soul, so I chased it. I heard freedom in his soul, so I chased it. I heard freedom in his soul, so I chased it. We're still screaming for freedom. We're still screaming for freedom. We're still screaming for freedom. We're still screaming for freedom, freedom, freedom. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Naslim and to Rav. And the artist that played just before them, Kalema, has asked me to remind you that if you would like, you're able to get hold of his CD. He'll be selling them up at the back over there then. Now this next artist, I'm so excited because I got to see him play earlier, and trust me, you're really going to enjoy this. And Farley Kuyute is a West African musician, and he's been described as, and this is pretty cool, the Jimi Hendrix of the kora. The kora is that brilliant instrument there. Now, in addition to his own work, he's also a member of Peter Gabriel's group Afro Sound System. And he says in his biography that he's taken on the responsibility of preserving West African culture through his music. So please welcome Nfali Kuyute.
Hello, everybody. Are you ready to change the words? Yes. Let's sing that. Okay. This next is change. Pour ma vie, pour ma vie, pour ma vie, je veux le changement. Pour ma vie, pour ma vie, pour ma vie, je veux le changement. In my life, in my life, in my life, something will change. In my life, in my life, in my life, something will change. Changer ma manière de considérer le monde, je veux la changer. Changer ma manière de regarder les gens, je veux la changer. Changer ma manière de gouverner le monde, je veux la changer. Pour ma vie, pour ma vie, pour ma vie, je veux le changement. Je veux la changer, everybody on. Je veux la changer, come on! 1, 2, 3, yep! Changer ma manière de considérer le monde. Changer ma manière de regarder le monde. Changer ma manière de considérer le monde. Changer ma manière de gouverner le monde. Pour ma vie, pour ma vie, pour ma vie, je veux le changement.
Hello again. How are we all doing? We good? Did we enjoy that? Good, excellent. I can hear you this time. Don't forget tomorrow, I don't know how you guys have come to hear about this today, but this is happening again tomorrow. There are tons of sessions tomorrow. There's films to see, there is music, there's live performance, and then again in the evening there's a showcase where all the artists are going to collaborate together, so please do come to that. Okay, our next artist, Asif Sinan, is a guitarist and musician from Pakistan. He brings together jazz, Indian classical and Sufi influences. He's worked and performed all over the world, and in fact is the first Pakistani artist to be invited to play at the German Music Festival this year. And let him take the stage. Please welcome Asif Sinan.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my roommate is here. Okay. Now I know. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, we are very short time here, but I would like to thank MOCA Fellows, first of all, and secondly, whatever today I will play, if it goes well, so it's all because of my teachers, and if something goes wrong, it's my fault. Thank you. First song is a folk number of Pakistan, and I hope you will like it. Okay, next is an anthem of my country, and I hope you like this too.
Thank you.
Hello again. Okay, so I'm going to trail ahead to the artist after this one, just to let you know that we are going to let an Essex boy on stage shortly. He has an interesting story to tell. But next up is Mark Gonzalez. He's a poet. He describes himself as a social entrepreneur and an impact speaker who specializes in social wellness. I think I could do with some of that. He's traveled across 14 countries in the last 2 years, so the fact that his poetry is inspired by journeys is a pretty good thing. So please welcome Mark Gonzalez.
Salam alaikum. We sound like a very quiet people, which I very highly doubt. Salam alaikum. My name is Mark Gonzalez, and I know what you're thinking, that it's a weird name for an Arab-looking Muslim. Especially when you're like, wait, why are Arabs named Gonzalez? And then people are like, oh, he's Mexican. And then they get really confused, which is what happened when I entered this country, Britain, at Border Patrol, and they sit there and look at you, so your name is Mark Gonzalez. You're Muslim. As if we expect you to believe that can happen. I want to share a story. How many people here were born in the 90s? Some of y'all hiding your hands. How many people here born in the 80s? We'll skip a generation. How many people born in the 60s? How many people born in the 70s? In 1975, a culture was born. It was called hip-hop. And so was I. And some 30 years later, we're asking that same question, what are we going to do with our lives? This cultural kaleidoscope of liquid hope crystallized on wax where battles of beatbox space, echoed by bombs in Iraq. We have chemical flow like the WTO guarding away Baghdad and Euphrates in an economy of an honesty that favors memorizing in old school ways over original thought. And what does any of this have to do with hip-hop? And what does a Mexican who was born in Alaska have to do with Islam in the Middle East? Nothing. Pues nada. Unless you consider the original Al-Nakba of Brooklyn, whose heartbeats echo in Beirut streets where history free froze, replayed slow motion genesis. Mesoamerican massacres that own Lesotho, whose Afro-Egyptian Iduct exodus followed trails of tears into refugee camps. We return to see American suburbs as settlements. And I'm just a kid from Alaska who occasionally loses himself in mosaics of music. I want to compose a symphony beyond our sorrow. I want to write songs and surahs in the leaves of palm trees till olive trees no longer bleed in silence, for you are me and we are losing land. Lost like lives, lost like wives, lost. We who have lost children are now lost children, wandering the back alleyways and brothels, battling the suspension of hope like the legacies of Cairo, Sadat, Oaxaca, Vicente Fox. So we invoke the spirit of Rakim and Naz, Mahmoud, Darwish, Suhair, Hamad. We are Afro-Indigenous with iPods wandering the streets of Iraq, screaming, bring on your tanks. We are the beauty behind hip-hop. It's we that don't stop. It's we that won't stop. It's we that don't stop. It's we that won't stop from the West Coast to the West Bank. I just want to share one short poem. And I want you to imagine there's a lot of empty rooms in here, or empty chairs. But just imagine that they're actually not empty. They're filled with all the people that brought you here. The people who made you, and the people who made them, and the 8 people that made them, and the 16 people that made them. And whenever a person goes to do good in this world, it is said that 70,000 angels travel with them. So there are a lot of people in this room right now. And I just want you to give respect and thanks to the company. Because a friend and I were talking. It's ill the way the world fills gravel pits with our coffins, steals the legacy of our laughter. There is no destiny after the killing of our tomorrow, when our sorrow is the crucified sunflowers of our sons and daughters. From Detroit to Damascus, we're walking streets lined with children's caskets. Their eyes continually ask us questions that will never be answered, like, will I ever taste the sweet scent of tulips again? Apache war helicopter sees the sky. Flames arise from the center of our souls. Our homes are where the rain beats from gravel potholes. Our stories are not told, they're swallowed. Cough. That is the sound of eternity echoing in your throat. Feel your lungs choke on a cacophony of a coffin symphony. Death hates hip-hop, so he decomposes body's melodies, and we spinal tap drum tracks. I write tracks to bring life back. My life's task is to fight back against all those who would desecrate the creative beauty of my community. There is no diplomatic immunity in hell. Your papers and privilege will not help you here. No armed escorts or cohorts, imports or exports, only the sound of distorted heart beating and the scent that comes with fear on our flesh. Whether it's the president or the prime minister. Have you ever smelt the sweet perfume scent of death lingering on your doorstep? It's coming, Abba, Amma. Have you dreamt of the day we will no longer be running but playing again? Like light laughter after rain, baby footsteps, first breath after fresh kissed lips and morning dew. We do what we have to survive. So our children will know what it means to be alive. It's Algiers Part 2. Or the battle for Beirut. And when we're finally through, I'm taking Mexico too. Whenever you enter a country and they ask you, what are you doing here? Give them 2 answers. You came to visit me first, and I've always been here.
So you remember I said we had an Essex boy for you. I won't ask him to do the accent, he can do it very well. Our next artist, Saif Adam, is an Essex boy, but his family are originally from Iraq. Saif's musical career so far has seen him collaborate with the likes of, and this is quite a range here, Ed Sheeran and Talisa. Pretty impressive. But he's taken a change in musical direction, and he now writes songs that combine his musical talent with his faith. And he's just had some amazing news, which we can share, hopefully. He's just been signed on a huge deal to Warner Music in Malaysia. So congratulations. So please welcome Saif Adam.
Assalamu alaikum everybody. I'm going to go for the first nasheed that I ever wrote, so inshallah you enjoy this. Look inside your heart, search into your soul. He's holding your hand, catching your fall. Mashallah, I see the light. Mashallah, I see my mother's smile. Okay, so the next track inshallah is going to be an album which is out already. It is out on iTunes and distributed in Malaysia as well, through Warner Music. So if we go for the first one, inshallah. This life, as you know, you reap what you sow. And when you do good, Allah will protect you and stop you falling down. Allah, we surrender, cause He knows all, no compromise. He hears your laugh and feels your cry. He's there all the time. We make dua and praise Allah. Our iman will grow. Inshallah, we will go far. There's a long way to go. We pray salat is from the heart. Love will keep us whole. And when you're feeling down, you know the way to go. In your name we will pray, keep to my faith, and searching a peace to set me free from my imaginary. I'll always surrender, I'm always looking out for the sign to honor you, make you proud, together we will shine. Oh, we make dua, we praise Allah, our iman will grow. Inshallah, we will go far, there's a long way to go. We praise Allah, it's from the heart, love will keep us whole. When you're feeling down, you know the way to go. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You know I feel it in my soul. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You know I feel it in my soul. Yeah, Allah, you're everywhere we go. And when your world is going down, you think it's over, and everyone around you builds you up and not you. Broken heart pain, I'm living my life this way, don't know which way to take, it's like this every single day. And now it's time to change, finally feel away, never gonna sit my feet away, no more reason to days away, for the days away. You know I feel it in my soul. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You know I feel it in my soul. Yeah, Allah, you're everywhere we go. Thank you so much, guys. Here we go for the last one now. Thank you all for being such a kind audience. If we go for the last one. You can catch me on Twitter at IamSafeAdam, safeadam.com, all Safe Adam stuff. So, trying to make great music for us as Muslims and for the Western world as well, inshallah. Okay, here's the first one. Every day is a lesson, and everything you do defines yourself. Now I know we all have good intention, in different ways we have to cope with stress. But for me it's easy, 'cause I know He sees me. But for me it's easy, 'cause I know He sees me. Now I know you've got the skin now, I can see it all in your face. For every trial and tribulation, there will be a saving grace. Our war will never burden when more than you can bear. But how can you reach the heaven without going through the test? For me it's easy, 'cause I know He sees me. But for me it's easy, 'cause I know He sees me. I know the road keeps getting longer, and every time you stop you losing faith. No, I know you have unanswered questions, but those are the ones you need to solve yourself. But for me it's easy, 'cause I know He sees me. But for me it's easy, 'cause I know He sees me. Now I know you've got the skin now, I can see it all in your face. For every trial and tribulation, there will be a saving grace. Our war will never burden when more than you can bear. But how so much, guys. You've been so kind. As I said, I'm Safe Adam, and I want to thank MOCAFest for putting on such a great event. Inshallah, we'll see you tomorrow, and all the musicians are going to collaborate and artists. So thank you so much, guys. Jazakallah khair. Shukran.
Okay, so we're on to our last act of the evening, and we're ending on a real high. I'm excited about these two. Native Son are a London-based duo. I can see you're excited about them already. They're a London-based duo consisting of a bilingual rapper from Mozambique, Mohamed Yahya, Woo indeed, and singer-songwriter Serena Leah. Now they've fused together hip-hop and African rhythms. This is going to be really good, so enjoy the last act. Please give them a warm hand because they've been waiting all evening to perform. Native Son.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Beautiful, beautiful. That's what I love to see. Beautiful energy. With the last act, so we're gonna kindly ask you for a big, big favor. Can everyone stand up from their seat?
Wonderful.
I want to be able to bounce off you guys' energy. Everyone. And feel free to come to the front if you want. Take a couple of steps.
Wonderful.
We're okay. So I go by the name of Mohamed Yahya.
And I go by the name of Serena Leah.
And today we have the wonderful KMT Freedom Teacher. So we're going to start off with our very, very, very first track. And this one is called Legacy. Can we turn the beat up a little bit? Find your soul, captivate the whole it's not a crowd, please. Swagger the someone of my body. You're that one with that, you can go. Shimmer, go. Straight out of your father. But it was over, so you know,
much more than rap. Gather all my thoughts, then connect where the boom back. Those that truly know me will tell you I'm a grafter. Please enjoy the show, buy us to the after. Blood, sweat and tears that I'm spilling out of me. Far from fairy tales, a reflection of the street. The struggle of existence, pain and perseverance. We're trapped in the bucket, I barely know the difference. I feed off the love I receive from the audience.
Listen to my words like Malcolm in the podium.
So I'm painting mattress on your mental canvas. With the bag of rhymes, keep serving on my fabrics. Feed the rebel music, nothing less than deep. Sounds for the soul that will nourish those who seek. Real hip hop, not commercialized pop. The movement is right here and never will it stop.
Never will it stop.
Never will it stop.
Never will it stop. Never will it stop.
The movement cannot stop. It won't stop. Cause what we have right here tonight is so much more than just hip-hop music. It's more than R&B, soul, jazz or blues. It's more than folk, crime, jungle. It's more than marrapete, kizombo, funana. More than bangra, more than rock and roll. It's our pain and our tears, our love and our fears. The language of my ancestors and all of your ancestors. It's a universal language of love, peace and unity. Cause what we have right here tonight is our legacy. Can I see everybody put their peace signs? If you believe in justice for the whole of mankind.
Closer than it seems in these gallery of dreams, gallery
It makes such a difference to be able to perform to an audience when they, when we connect with you guys. So thank you, thank you. Before we play our last track, I just wanted to ask everyone that came here tonight, and if you enjoyed yourself, please, please, please tell your friends, tell your family, put it on Facebook, on Twitter, and let everyone know and invite them to come back here tomorrow between 7 and 10. Is that correct? Between 7 and 10, so just invite everyone and let's make sure that this whole event is filled, because it's not often that we get so many artists, so many amazing artists from different parts of the world here in London, yeah? Okay, cool.
Beautiful. Okay. So, this is the story. It's called Mother and Son. And the grass isn't always greener on the other side for those that sometimes decide to go on adventures, mother and son.
This is an up-tempo track, so if you want to dance, it's okay. Or if you feel uncomfortable, you can always do the halal dance. You're safe for that one. Once again, thank you so much. Thank you to the organizers.
Thank you to our DJ, KMT, the freaking teacher.
No time.
Okay, sorry. We have to finish, but thank you once again to Native Son. Give them a round of applause. And thank you to all the artists who performed tonight. And don't forget, please, to come back tomorrow and do tell all your friends. It's at MOCAFest on Twitter. And put it on Facebook. and there's going to be a showcase tomorrow night where they all collaborate together. So come to that 7 till 10, and this session's going on all day. Thank you so much, and get home safe. Thank you. Good night.
And lastly, I just want to say that we have copies of our album and our t-shirts. So if you'd like, please support the artists, talk to them, communicate, get their contact, support this underground style of the movement. You know what I'm saying? So thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.